Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters, and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. Do it for the love. We don't do it for the like. That's said by a great Libra named Chronix. We do it for the love. We don't do it for the like. We do this for the love. We do not do this for the likes. Although I appreciate the likes. Fele, what's up, lady? Although I appreciate the likes. We do this for the love. We don't do this for the likes. We study because we are love. We research because of love. From my personal perspective, I do what I do because of love. And you become better at what you do and what you love because you love it. And once you learn to step out into your greatness because that you love what you love, it can be very helpful. Big up to everybody that's coming on right now. Please share this with at least 5 people. Jasmine, what's up? Fele, I see you request to come on. How can I help you? Certain people I'll let come on because I know them for years. What's up? Fele. What's up?
Dark. Hi. How are you? I'm good.
What's going on?
I just hopped off of a business call. I just wanted to tell you that I've been reading your book.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and it is helpful. It's helping me channel some of my energy, and because of that, I just picked up 4 deals.
Four. Let them know when your birthday, Feli. When is your birthday?
July 22nd.
And 2 + 2 = what?
4. Oh wow! I didn't even. You see, it's real, people. It's real.
Look at the patterns. Look at the patterns. You should always go for that 4, go for that 13, go for that 22, or go for that 31, because that's the frequency that your vibration that you're connected to. So go.
It's working.
Go for it. Go for it.
If y'all do not have his book, get it.
Which one do you have?
Numbers are simple. People are complicated. Yes.
My first book, my first numerology.
Yeah, that's the holy grail right there. Yeah, if y'all don't have it, get it. It's one of the best investments you will ever make in your life.
Wow. It's about application. So the 4 deals you made was something that you attached to because the vibration of the numbers is scientific, and it's very important that people understand that if you resonate with just your birth number, with 4 deals or 1 deal or 10 deals, if you're born on the 1st, you could deal with the 1, the 10, the 19, the 28 within that month. Or within 19 months, within 4 months, you could do it in every 22 days, and the 22nd of every day, the 4th of every day. If you're connected to those vibrations, you will start to see the matrix open up to you, the mother womb open up, and that's good to hear that it's opening up. Fele is a dear friend of mine for many years, going back to my radio days, one of my radio days. So I'm happy that she from WWRL 1600.
you telling on my age?
No, I just said 1600. WWRL it went all the way into the 2000s, so they no longer. I spoke to Bob Law recently. Also, I spoke to Bob because he's healing from an ailment, and I'm so happy that he's still with us, and he has a wealth of knowledge. And you remember Bob Law, right?
Yeah. Just a quick mention of Dr. Bob Law, the event that we were at, you were there as well, at Word Up Cafe in Brooklyn a few years back. And something that he said to the crowd resonated, and that also kind of changed my mentality when it came to the educational system or lack thereof. Right. And we were saying, the system is broken. It's not working for our kids. And he said, no, the system is not broken. The system is doing exactly what they put it in place to do. So that was kind of like, it was an aha moment for everybody in the room.
Exactly. It wakes you up to realize that their job is to dumb your children down and have them under control, and for work and slave for them, instead of building our own legacy that can go into dynasty, that can live into infinity. That's why we see the pyramids today. That's why we see the great temples of Timbuktu, and why they burnt down libraries, because when they burned down those libraries of who and what we were, that means we're open to be controlled, because we don't know who and what we are as original melanated people. And that's the problem. That is the problem. But there are solutions, because things are being revealed, not just in the year of the 2024. It's been revealed for many years. It's just that some people kept it underground, and now it's time for it to rise to the top. And now we're rising to the top, and I'm appreciative of that. And, we might not do the same thing that we did back in the 60s and all that, where we have to get everybody together. Is your mentality together? And if the unification of your cells and your DNA and RNA is working together, then you will start to connect with those other people that are starting to come to enlightenment on a spiritual realm. It's not even just physical, it's a spiritual, and spirit is energy and vibration. What's up, sis? My sister's on too. Big up, sis, Katana. So we're doing what we got to do, as long as you're recognizing it. If you recognize it on a spiritual level, then it can become something on a physical level, because you're showing that you are honoring and respecting the ancestral energetic level that you're connected to naturally, because everything is connected to an energetic spiritual ancestry or connection or vibration in some form or fashion. Everything from the ant, the roach, the amoeba, whatever it is, we are all connected to it. It's an energy. So I appreciate you coming on and talking about that book and saying what you're doing. But I'm glad you're applying it, because people born under 22, sometimes they second guess their powers. And with great power comes great responsibility. And I've been telling you about that a long time, about your 20. Some great responsibility. And if you're not willing to respond to your ability, that's where the problem is. If you're not willing to respond to your ability, that's where the problem will hold you. That's where the issue or the vibration will hold you back, because you're not ready. And it'll go right to a number 4. And 4 is the building apparatus that's reminding you that, hey, you better step up into your game if you want to be this master. It takes a lot of time to be a master sometimes, unless you're an anomaly. And sometimes the anomaly happens when you're 12 or 11, that you start seeing the brilliance of children at that early age. And then sometimes we dumb them down with school, or we dumb them down with the madness on television. That's why they gave us the tell-lie vision in the first place.
What I play on my televisions now, I'm getting away from the standard programming. And so when I wake up in the morning, I throw on my vibration videos. Good. And my manifestation videos, and it helps channel a lot. A Christian, he's even doing better in school. He's ahead of his peers. He's got extra credits. And so now we're just trying to work on him and staying on that, because he wants to be an engineer. So
when is your son Christian's birthday?
5/19. He's the number 1. That's his number.
On the same day as Malcolm.
Yep.
Same as Malcolm. Yep. So when they're focused, that's why Malcolm had to go to jail. when they're focused, and sometimes you don't have to go to jail. Sometimes you just have to go back into your inner self. And that's why when they're focused, they make things happen. And that allowed him to open up to the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And also he had the open up to reading the dictionary till his eyes went bad. That's how deep. When they're focused, there ain't nothing they can do. They can't do. There ain't nothing they can't do if they focus. Big up to him. Big up. And I'm waiting for your other son born on the 16th to be focused too. So hopefully he'll get focused. It's a work in progress. Well, you know, they overthink a lot, and people don't realize that people born on that 16 energy. That 16 is the number of planning, or you plan to fail. If you don't plan and lay a blueprint, you plan to fail. That's what went wrong with Tupac, born on the 16th of June. That's what went wrong with him. He didn't plan things out in his head. So he planned and he led down the road. He was planning when he was doing his music, but when he went to go and hang out with that Aries guy that pushed his button to go fight this dude and beat up on this dude, we see what the history has led to, why Tupac isn't with us today. You know, I did security for Tupac. You know, I know what it is. You know, and I know how brilliant he was just by being in his midst for 48 hours. Just by being in his midst, I know how brilliant he was and how in tune and intuitive that 16 energy can be. But if you got batteries in the back of your back by other entities like a Suge Knight who's born April the 19th, that Aries is always war, and that war Aries fed that Gemini air, and that's where the history lies now. That's where we're going now. It is. You know, Tamara, what's up, Tamara? But thank you very much for coming on, beautiful. We got to talk. We got to talk.
Yes, sir. Have a wonderful day. Love you.
All right, peace. That's my dear friend Fele in the building. Woo! One dear friends from the club life, from the radio life. Club life, that's the only life I knew. I knew that life. New York, heavy. So big up to all of us. Radio, WWRL. I've worked on radio and all that kind of stuff back in the day. My Radio Live. I've worked on Red Hot Radio. I've worked with WLIB, WBLS commercials and all that stuff, making my guest appearance on David's show and Bob Frederick shows back in the day. So today is the 17th, January the 17th. Big up to Shaba Ranks. Today is his birthday, born day. I've worked with Shaba back in the past. Today is Michelle Obama's birthday. Today is Steve Harvey's birthday. Today is Muhammad Ali's birthday. And numerous people connected to that number 17 or that number 8 is good old days. Those are good old days for that time. You know what I'm saying? Shabba! Yeah, somebody said, Shabba! Him there, and I'll let y'all want that we walk till up, want that wood burn up. Hey! Yeah, Shabba and I worked at Q Club years ago. I actually started the show for him. I was the opening act before Shabba back in 1990 at the Q Club in Queens, his first appearance in the Q Club, and they asked me to open up the show. So that's what it is. Happy birthday to whoever's celebrating their birthday. I'm glad you're enjoying your birthday. Just remember, she spoke about, Fele spoke about my other book, but this is my other numerology book, my third numerology book, but my fourth book in line. And in that book, I talk about the 17, and the 17 is very important. I talk about all the numbers in the month. If you're born on any number from January, from the 1st all the way to 31st, and these numbers can connect with everybody born on any day. Remember, the numbers are just the vibration that you came through to navigate with. The zodiac that you call yourself or you're under is just a vibration that you came to navigate through. You are human. You are an energy field, a body full of energy that came through. And even when you leave this body, energy is vibration. Vibrations are connected to frequencies and numbers also, because numbers is what helps to personify the wisdom so we can use it to better understand it and to better understand it. So if there's a vibration of the 29, or let's say Michael Jackson's, you start seeing that Michael Jackson's name start popping up, and that year adds up to a number 11, and you start hearing Michael Jackson's name pop up. He's born on the 29th, so that 2 and that 9 equals 11. So his name would naturally pop up in the vibratory energy of this earth because we're in the year 29. It would naturally pop. Now, people have been saying, like, people like Cat Williams said, this is the year of the reveal. It's a year of the reveal in the sense that because the 8 vibration reveals old things and old situations that's supposed to come back to light to either help you or haunt you. That's why he started talking about what happened with his old friends and these guys in the comedy world, past stuff. So those old things started to resurface. And in an 8 year, start noticing if any old friends and old situation, old bills start coming back, and then look in your mind's eye and say, is this something that's going to help you? Or is it going to haunt you? That's what you got to look at the 8 as a revealing number, because 7, 2023 was also a year of the reveal. A lot of things were revealed in 2023 also, but it was revealed from another aspect of that vibratory energy of that number, because vibrations are real. And if you touch that vibration and you constantly say and speak about that vibration, then the vibration starts to show its face. It starts to show his hand or her hand. That's when the divine mother and father starts to smack people in their face to remind them that they are who they are, especially in that sense. And in an 8 year cycle, or what I say 20 plus 24 equals 44, I call it the 44-8 cycle, where some people just say, I say it's the 44-8 cycle. I call it the 20 and 24 cycle. You're paying attention to vibrations and you're paying attention to frequencies of that year, this particular year. And in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, I speak about the symbol of 17 being the number of peace and love. It is considered a highly spiritual number, symbolizing the 8-pointed star of Venus. In some ancient circles, it's called the star of the Magi. So today's frequency is what we call the star of the Magi number. And Magi's in history, the Magi. Go get the book by M. Fundishi when he speaks about the Magi. Look up the great 3 Magi's that came to the birth of Esau or Jesus or Yeshua. 3 Magi's that brought silver, frankincense, and myrrh. 3 Magi's, because Magi's in his story or our story were those alchemists, was those astronomers, those astrologers, those study of vibration and numbers, because it wasn't called numerology back then. It was called the study and the vibrations of numbers under another language, where they were speaking Hebrew, Arabic, Amharic, where they were speaking cuneiform. So understand that there was different language and things start to translate it over the years, because the secret society, the societies that were under the society, held the wisdom and the knowledge of astrology and numerology to a certain extent that even the presidents and the kings and the dukes of the time was acknowledging and getting advised by these people. So if you don't understand that, if you don't understand to every light side that we are, when I say light side, I say everything on the surface is not connected to everything that's below the surface, then you don't understand, and you don't really realize what this world is all about, what this universe is all about. Because in the light, in the darkness, there's always going to be light, and in the light, there's always going to be darkness, because that's the yin and yang of life. You have to have the balance. So it's not all about being in the light, in the light. I love being in the sunlight. I love it. But why do we rest at night? Why do we take time to go within in our sleep? I sleep like this. I sleep like this with my hands like this. And I've been doing this before Wakanda and all of that. I've been sleeping like this before Wakanda, because if you look at the esophagus of the Kemetic deities, you find that they had 2 staffs in their hand, and they used to sleep like this, or they had I used to sleep. I still sleep like that when I want to sleep straight, and I just want to go right into the realms where I need to go with, because I'm acknowledging the ancient symbolism of the X, which is the unknown. I'm entering the unknown, but in certain mathematical equations, the X is also the number 10, and 10 is the wheel of fortune. So I'm wheeling myself as I'm going to sleep in the fortunate unknown of who I am, so I can bring it to fruition in the physical realm. which I am doing at my own pace, and which all of you can do at your own pace. Big up to Ted Carpenter, who was up here, who was a comedian that took a sabbatical away from all of this. I don't know his birthday, but when I look at his name, I can see the master numbers in it. Teddy, when they call him Teddy Carpenter, I can see the master number just in the word Teddy. The double fours, the master number 44, which is the master number of dedication, but they don't like to take foolishness. But one thing about people with that name Teddy or Teddy Pendergraph or people like Teddy Carpenter, you got to realize that they think. They're thinkers. They're not just going to let people control them. Even Teddy Pendergraph didn't just let people control them. That's why he stepped out of the shadows of Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. He had to step out and create his own lane in some form or fashion. That's what a master number does. That's in the active name of Teddy, and I'm talking about the double D's. That's the master numbers. And when you have doubling numbers in your active name or in your middle name or your when I say doubling numbers, I mean double letters. When you have like Morrison might have a double letter, and Billy has a double letter. When you have those double letters, it's telling me that name has a vibration that can be activated to become or help you to master what you need to master in this realm. So it's very important that we understand the vibrations that we are born under. And that's what I talk about in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, because each book is gone up to a different set of information. Each of my books, all 4 of my books right now, have gone to a different level of information. And I guarantee that the next numerology book, which will be my last numerology book, is going to go to a whole nother level because I've created a word behind it that has been downloaded from my ancestors to bring the combination of numerovation together and motivation together. And then I'm studying so much from not just other entities, but I'm also studying what I am and writing what I am uploading and downloading from my dream world, the words that come to me, the breakdowns of different words, the importance of using word sound vibration. It's very important. So my last numerology book, that will be the last one, that's going to be a profound book because we are spiraling up in these numbers and these frequencies. We got to spiral up to be our greatest self and be our best. Got to spiral up because numbers, again, is here to guide you. So if you go to the number 8, and if this year is the number 8 year according to the Gregorian calendar, and we're all vibrating under this number 8 year. In my book, I talk about the number 8 is the symbol of evolutionary development and balance. The number 8 in numerous studies is also known as a flawless symbol of balance, cause and effect, or what is recognized as karma. Some may interpret the number 8 as the infinity symbol, or 2 circles placed above each other, rotating in opposite directions. No matter how you look at the number 8, it is also known simply as an infinity symbol of building and destruction. The number 8 energy is an old soul, old school, ancient vibration that reflects the meaning of the Ghanaian word and symbol called Sankofa, or the Sankofa bird, which basically means go back and get it. I'm just showing you its symbolism also. In other words, it urges us to go back into time and get what is needed to continue to move forward into the future. That is what the number 8 also symbolizes. Go back into time, because remember what I said. 8 is one of those numbers that reveals past issues that can be brought back to the forefront, or past healing modalities that can be brought back to the forefront, because it deals with cause and effect, and it's also a reminder of the past and how to take what you need from the past and move forward into the future. So all that's happening happening through the comedy world and through the entertainment world and what's happening with Buffy and this. It's a powerful vibration we got to pay attention to in every year. But this particular year says we just came out of the crossroad and now it's time to be definitive about bringing the law and order and balance back, because 8 was also known in tarot as the justice card. Remember, in tarot, it's called the justice card. So it's considered the number of law and order. And if you've been unjust, then justice shall be brought to balance, because number 8 also reflects law and order. I know y'all understand what I'm saying. So congratulations to all of those that are understanding what I say, and those that have read my books or purchased my books. Your brother that is known as King Simon, the vibration in this physical realm that is known as King Simon, aka Mr. Tab. It's letting me know from a higher vibratory level of the ancient spiral that we are here to do some great work if we allow ourselves to be open to this great work. You got to be open to the great work. You got to be open to the great work. And if you're not opening yourself to be to this great work, then you can limit yourself. And like I said in my book, I always put a reminder in either within the chapter or at the end of the chapter called Numerovation Reminder. I said the number 10 through 31 are basically a combination of all the previous numbers mentioned. However, the master number potentials like the 10, the 20, and the 30, and the master numbers like the 11, the 22, and the 33 have higher potentials that we should be aware of. So when you see doubling numbers from 10 all the way through, it is revealing a combination of numbers. Like if today is the 17th, the 1 and the 7 is also in play, which then it equates to the number 8. If tomorrow's the 18th, the 1 and the 8 are in play, but the 1 is the leading frequency, the leading vibration in the 17th or the 18th vibration or the 19th or the 20th. Then when you get to 20, the 2 takes the lead. And then when you get to 30, the 3 takes the lead. When you get to 40, the 4 takes the lead. Pay attention. Pay attention. And then when 0 starts coming behind numbers, then that adds infinite potential. Thank you for sharing your pillar of what we are, should be, and strive to be. You're welcome, fella. And thank everybody for coming on. Thanks everybody for coming on. I know people are trying to get in my live. I only allowed Feli in my live because her and I go back, way back into time. And when I go back with certain people, and like I said, you know, Feli is one of those people that paid for had gotten my book years ago. I think she purchased the book, if I'm not mistaken. She purchased the book from me, and there's a few friends from my past that have purchased the book, but there's only 2 people in my past that have actually paid or circulated finance to do an actual consultation with me. For all these years, going back to the club, going back to those days, out of everybody that I've known, few of them have bought my books, and some of them have bought my books on the download, don't even tell me they bought the book until I laid it on here, they bought the book, but only 2 that I recall has paid for a actual numerovational session for me. One just recently did it, and then another friend of mine, she didn't pay for one for herself. She paid for one for somebody else because she knew that girl needed it. She paid for a friend of hers, and she knew that girl needed it. And I helped that girl the best way I can. But at the end of the day, whatever I share with you during a numerovational session, whatever I share with you, whatever with a numerovational session, remember, I don't do readings. Once I realize that it's not about the reading, it's about the advice that you give people and the consultation, I changed the language of calling myself a reader, because we have to elevate it. So don't call me or text me for a reading. Call me or text me because you need to be consulted about your numbers, because you internally always and already know what to do. It's just that some people forget, and we need to recall and be reminded. And then the numerovational session or consultation is going to strike and open your DNA back up and your RNA back up to say, oh, that's what I need to do. So whatever gift you found out that you had since you was a child that you gravitated to, you take that gift that you have naturally and take it to the job, or take it to your business, or turn it into a business, or do something with it. That's all you need to do. I'm just here as a recaller and a reminder so I can help realign what you need to do. I've spoken to numerous comedians that I've known from the past, from the Jamaica, JP Justice, we used to call him Jamaican there, Muga, Sink, Freddie Ricks, Monterey Ivory before he passed on, my dear friend before he passed on, Rashid, brother Rashid Thurman. I talked to his mother for her birthday in March all the time to make sure she all right. And every one of them, because you could write jokes, you could write plays, you could write movies, you could write books. That means you could expand beyond your comedy dreams. You could take pictures of yourself and just write a poem about what you were saying on that particular stage at that point of time. That's why I'm taking my music and turning it into children's books, thanks to Bob Marley's children. Bob Marley's children showed me the way. So, they took Bob Marley's song, One Love, Three Little Birds, and I think 2 more songs, and turned them into children's books with illustration. One Love into an illustrated children's book. Let's get together and feel all right. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Now Bob Marley lives on, not just through adults who like to sing his name and children that like to sing, but children that want to learn to read. Bob Marley lives on again, and Bob said it in his lyrics. Them I got tired to see me face. Doom, 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 doom. Can't get me out of the race. Bob Marley predicted it. Bob Marley predicted it. Them I got tired to see my face, but they can't get me out of the race. He got 40 or more grandchildren that probably is going to sing and write and dance. He got 11 children that are already doing their thing. Them I got tired, facing me face, doom, 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 doom. Can't take me out of the race. Bob Marley predicted that we will be bubbling on the R&B charts. Bubbling on the R&B, just for the people to see. We're bubbling on the top 100, just like a mighty dread. He predicted that we would be on the top 100 charts of Billboard and all these charts. Bob Marley, the Aquarian, predicted it. So as an Aquarian like myself, I see into the future that numerovation will be the new word. Not just numerology, because the word numerology means the study of numbers. But if you want to motivate and advise people with the numbers, numerovation will be that word. Not numeration, numerovation, using the numbers to motivate. That's why it's important that we learn the numerovational principles and prospect of who we are. Not just read. I'm not here for just read your numbers and say this is what you're supposed to be and this is what they do. But no. Because usually what the numbers connect to you says about you, you can choose to go the high road or the low road. My job is to give you the advice to stay on the high road so you can manage the weakness that you might slip, because everybody slips. Everybody takes a slip. Everybody slips and slide. But it's not how you fall, it's how you get back up. And like Dr. Moses Powell used to tell us back in the day, it's not how you fall, it's how you land. That's why we did flying rollouts back in the day. That's why you see me when I post my flying rollouts in the backyard. I'm doing flying rollouts. I'm doing rollouts so I don't hurt myself. So he taught us how to roll so we don't hurt ourselves and we get back standing in our fighting stance after we do the roll. Watching our back, always watching our back. Like Master Mo would say, 180, 360. You got to look 180, and then if you make a side turn, you'll be able to see all 360 behind you. Always. Powerful. And that's what numerovation is all about. I'm taking the numerals connected to myself and individuals out there. I'm taking what I've been motivated by all my life, whether it's martial arts, whether it's motivational speakers, whether it's comedy, whatever, motivated, promotion. And that's what I put to two. So whatever system you're under, it's all right. You can be a numerovator too. You could be a numerovationalist also, because you're using the numbers and then you're using what has motivated you throughout your life to make sure the numbers connect. You could be in the EFA system. You could be in Christianity. You could be a Hebrew. You could be a Muslim. You could be whatever you want to be, a Buddhist. And you could be a numerovator, knowing how to use your numbers in connection to your Buddhist practice, in connection to your Ifa practice, in connection to your Icon practice, in connection to your Santeria practice, in connection to you being a Babalao, in connection to being a priest or a priestess, in connection to being a pastor or a prophetess, whatever you call yourself. Numerovation is for the next millennium.
Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Eye to eye, heart to heart, each one teach one us. This is Professor Imhotep, the Island Monk, here at Warrior Kido Jiu-Jitsu, Way of the Warrior Spirit. So we're here to go over the rules and try to make that as swift as possible for you guys. So the rules essentially are very few. Number one is to follow us on TikTok at the Island Monk, or if you have Instagram, you can follow us at Warrior Temple, Island University. Or if you really love us and want to show us support, you can follow us at both. You're going to find the Kata Shodachi, and you're either going to duet us on TikTok or collab with us on Instagram and win 10 tickets for every additional video you do beyond. So as we say with all the warriors, eye to eye, heart to heart, each one teach one, us.
It's the Numerovational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now. So remember, our job as studiers of these metaphysical, esoteric knowledge is to help enhance people to be better. I, as a numerovator, using the numbers, or quote-unquote numerals, and motivation to get people to understand why they need to activate their numbers to be their very best self and maximize it. Because the numerals hold a frequency. And if you're willing to turn up that frequency, then that frequency can help to guide you and navigate you to a higher height that will allow you to spiral to be your best self. We must remember that.